Was El Dorado real? This lost city is said to be found somewhere deep in the rainforests of South America. Adventurers from across the world have spent centuries looking for it. The story of the lost Golden City was first made popular by European explorers. Their story of El Dorado promises a wealthy paradise lost to time, a locale rich in minerals, a land ripe for the taking. However, this golden land of promise remains to be found. So just what was the city of El Dorado? A myth? A reality? Or a bit of both? Today, we'll bring the city to life for you with our animation and show just what El Dorado may have been like. El Dorado, an animated journey. The Lost City of Gold. This South American legend has eluded treasure hunters for centuries. Yet the El Dorado story wasn't always about a place. It began as the story of a man. El Rey Dorado, the Golden King. Legend has it that El Dorado was a very wealthy ruler who centuries ago governed an area near modern-day Bogota City in Colombia. This king was so rich that during festivals he would cover his entire body in golden dust. And at the end of each day, El Dorado was said to travel with his people to a lake for a special cleansing ritual. There, he would take a raft out and dive in. El Dorado's swim in the lake would wash away the gold dust while his people threw all sorts of golden treasures and jewels into the lake. This legend of the Golden King comes from a real tribe who lived in Colombia for over 1,000 years. And there's more truth to their El Dorado than you may realize. The El Dorado Ritual. Long before the Europeans came to the Americas, the land was home to many different civilizations. One of these indigenous groups were the Muisca. The legend of the Golden Man comes from one of their ancient rituals. Whenever the chief of a tribe passed away, the Muisca would begin a rite that would see the deceased's nephew succeed him. After some time, they would lather the heir's skin in gold and make offerings to the gods by throwing treasures into Lake Guatavita in central Colombia. The heir would then sail into the center of the lake with 4 priests and 4 burning fires, sending incense skywards. Ashore, the crowd would be celebrating and making further offerings to the gods. But all would fall silent after a priest raised a flag to signal that their new chief was here. And people would shout from the shore to pledge their allegiance. The Muisca worshipped gold not for its monetary value, but for its spiritual power. It is thought that gold shared a connection with the gods. Offerings of the metal are believed to have brought balance and peace to society. Because of this, archaeologists now believe the Muisca produced vast quantities of gold, and that was a sight likely to stun any 16th century European explorer visiting these lands for the first time. The mythical lost city of gold. So if El Dorado was a man, then where did the myth of the lost golden city come from? El Dorado has served as the white whale for many different treasure hunters over the centuries. Legend has it that El Dorado was a place brimming with riches and treasures, the likes of which the world had never seen. Everything from the city walkways to the buildings, temples, and homes were made from solid gold. El Dorado was said to be an incomprehensibly wealthy place where people lived a perfect life. El Dorado was a golden utopia, and many Europeans wanted it for themselves. However, all, except a few, found nothing. The search for El Dorado. The year is 1537. The Spanish conquistador Jimenez de Quesada and his army of 900 soldiers are searching for a route to Peru. Suddenly, word of a golden city reaches them, so Quesada changes their destination. they trek deeper and deeper into the South American wilderness. Hundreds die along the way, until finally they happen upon a sight that left them stunned. What they found wasn't El Dorado, but the gold works of the Muisca tribe. These golden carvings were new and exotic to the conquistadors. What likely startled them even more was the sheer abundance of gold on site. The Muisca, like other South American indigenous tribes, were a gold-working culture. And as we explained earlier, gold, for them, was not about monetary value, but a spiritual connection to the gods. The Spanish, however, felt differently and plundered the tribe's ancient treasures. Over the following years, Spain conquered the tribe's lands, but still none could find El Dorado. Yet that didn't stop countless others from searching for it over the years. Was El Dorado real? For now, most of the evidence suggests El Dorado was nothing more than a story of a golden man. A tale that became a myth of a lost golden city. A legend that became the white whale of European treasure hunters. What we do know is that the legend of El Dorado continues to hold a special place in the hearts and minds of people across the world, and will continue to do so. But if there's anything to learn from the El Dorado story, it is this: if something's too good to be true, then it probably is. Europeans spent centuries in their quest for El Dorado, and hurt many, many people in the process, all for gold, and in later years, nothing more than a few trinkets. Was El Dorado real? If it was, where do you think it was located? Is there something we missed? Are ancient civilizations beyond the understanding of current science? Write us a comment and tell us below. Also, check out our Atlantis documentary, and if you enjoyed this, you'll love that. Thank you, Mystorian, for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and ring those mighty bells of notification so you never miss a Myth Stories video. We all know YouTubers say this, but it really helps the channel. But as always, this isn't goodbye, this is just until the next mythical video.